So the first thing to do is to fill up the washer with a little bit of water. To do that, you select the lowest water level, which would be 1. Then you would press the play pause button, and it would start a wash cycle. So I've already done all that, and what I'm going to do is add my detergent and my bleach. So it's spinning, so I add my detergent, and then I add my bleach, because I'm doing my bed linens, and they're white. Do that for about 30 seconds, and then we can add our bedding in. These are all my sheets here. So that's still at water level 1. So we press the stop button, and then I'm going to do a speedy wash, which is option number 3. So we would choose this and go to number 3 using the program button. So it's going to fill up the water to level 3, and I have my inlet valve on a pretty medium level so that the water doesn't just burst out of here, because I want to make sure I don't burst my inlet valve. It took me a while to get that set up properly. So once this fills up to level 3, it's going to automatically run through a speedy cycle, which runs for 20 minutes. It has 2 cycles. It has a wash, and then it has a rinse and a wash with clean water. And it drains very quickly. So when you first get your machine, it comes with a connector like this. And you would just put that on your faucet. However, I'm not using a faucet. I'm just using a regular washing machine hookup. And then it also has this for going underneath your faucet as well, or it can go on top because it has inside threads and outside threads. But I ended up going with this option. So I had to cut mine off, and then I put on a external connector, and then I put a clamp over that to prevent the water from leaking everywhere. And then it just goes right into this ordinary connection here. And you have to use this kind of hose, because what I found out is it will actually leak here if you don't use this kind of hose. If you use just a regular washer hose, it just doesn't work on this connection for some reason, because it has a special plastic piece that stops the flow of water. So here we're spinning already, and we can see we have just enough coverage for the bedding in there. Push it down a little. You're not supposed to do that. Two sheets, 2 pillowcases inside here. And we got plenty of room to add even more if we wanted to. So we're down to 17 minutes. It's going to drain through this hose. Just to give an example of the spinning mechanism, it has this mechanism, and it also has a kind of a jolting mechanism, which is a little slower. Kind of agitate the clothes a little bit. It's very cool. Very sturdy feel to it. It's pretty much just like a regular washing machine, just a little bit smaller, and it's made for portability. You can see the water kind of goes through the filter a little bit, which is this thing here. Very nice. And because I have whites in there, if I wanted to really bleach them out, it has a special soak feature which agitates only a little bit every once in a while and spread the chemical around. And as you can hear, the unit's pretty quiet. Now it's agitating the sheets a little bit. This is actually coming out of a cold water inlet. Drainage on this is powerful and fast. It's going to be happening right about now. I'll show you how much water bursts out of this thing. So it's starting up. Look at all that. Amazing. Very quick pump. So you can see the water is already draining out of this very quickly after about a minute. Got 13 minutes left on the clock. So it's getting the last of the water out. It's going to stick some fresh water in there. Start spinning again. What will happen is I got to close that lid because it's going to give me an error message if I don't close it once it starts up again. See, that's what happens when you have the lid still open. So now we're down to 11 minutes. And actually it's going to spin a little bit first. Pull out some of the water and chemical that's in the bedding. Spinning a little faster. Can't open it to show you, sorry. Get the idea. That stuff up there you see in the reflection is my cleaning supplies and some other utility stuff. Basically, I use these little shelvings to hang my clothes on once I'm done as well. Because I don't have a dryer at the moment. I just use this air dry feature on this, or I use the clothesline outside for quicker drying. And while it's ending, key step is turn off the inlet supply. Make sure that's off on your faucet or whatever you're running the water with. And done. So at this state, they're still pretty damp. So what you could do at this point is hang them out on the line or run a spin dry cycle. So we're going to run a little spin dry on these. So you run the air dry, power on, choose program number 6. Start it up. It runs for 30 minutes. No heat, so it should be pretty well energy efficient. It runs and spins and it kind of agitates the clothes a little bit. Trying to suck out and dehydrate as much water as it can. So another cool thing about this is because you can spin dry and you can wash in the same tub, the clothes don't have to be moved from one part to the other. And also, they don't get tangled up in this machine. It has a nice, decent sized bin. And the way it spins, it doesn't tangle them up. I had so many problems with tangled pants and tangled clothes in my other machine that was also a portable washing machine. This, they just come right out, and look at how beautifully white that is. It does have a nice hefty removable filter, as you could see during the cleaning cycles. Water was running through that filter. And the unit does automatically power off after about 10 minutes. And the actual tub itself is about 16 inches deep. And internally, it's around 14 inches wide. So in general, for a speedy wash, you would simply press power on. No need to worry about water level. Go over to option number 3, and then you would press the play pause button. So of our 8 settings here, the standard is going to run an automatic program with a couple different cycles. Spin is just going to agitate and spin the clothes with a little bit of water in there, however much water you set with the water level. Speedy runs an automatic program with the water level automatically set. Soak just lets the clothes soak in there with whatever water level you set and agitates them every once in a while to flip them over so you get thorough coverage of your detergent or cleaning product. Gentle just does all the same stuff more gently. Air dry is the built-in drying feature for this unit, which is very convenient, and it's set automatically for 30 minutes. They also have a retaining water feature and a tub cleaning feature. So what's the point of this machine? Well, first of all, it's very affordable, $300, and no shipping charge where I got it. And second of all, it's portable. And third of all, it's a good washing machine, and it's not just a machine that spins clothes around. It's automatic, it's got programs, all kinds of stuff. And I was very impressed with the loads that it produces. The clothes get mixed and cleaned very well, and they come out smelling incredibly good. So something like this is for people who just do a little bit of clothes or just want a smaller machine or need a machine for remote usage of some sort or have strange hookups or just don't want to spend a lot of money on a washer and dryer, which can be $500 plus and still have lots of complicated issues and all these kinds of things. So this is very affordable. If it has problems later, maybe a year later, I'll just get another one. The cool thing is because it does the washing and a little bit of drying inside the unit, I don't have to worry about throwing the clothes around from one place to the other. So that's convenient. It's kind of 2-in-1, but it doesn't quite dry them as well as a regular dryer, which would use heat and have programmability. And it's also for people who live in apartments, because I lived in an apartment for 12 years in San Francisco, and I had to use the dreaded laundromat. I really wish I had one of these, so I didn't have to lug heavy clothes up and down those San Francisco hills for 12 brutal laundry washing years. you first get this, the first thing you have to do is remove all the plastic, which is easy. And then there's a little bottom cover underneath this that has to be placed inside the railings. So to power up the unit, you simply press the power button. Our inlet valve is ready to go. Turn on your faucet and then choose your water level. You have 1 to 6 settings, except on Speedy, which is a fixed setting, which is going to be about level 3. So here we would press start, and that would start a standard wash cycle. And to toggle through the programs, you simply go over this little program button here. So we're up to 8, and then back to 1. When you first start the machine, they say to let the water run for a little bit, and then let the bin start spinning for about 30 seconds. You dump your detergent in there, or whatever other cleaning product you're going to use for that wash. I extended the drain hose. Right here you can see it. There's no leaks. And I used the drain hose from another unit that I had, and it fits just right snugly into the little attachment here. Normally, that's where you would stick it down your drain pipe for your washing machine hookups or your sink, where you would let the water flow into a bathtub or sink as well. So what I did to secure this is I used a very snug fit for one, which is essentially the same size pipe going in there, just rammed in there pretty well. And then I used some of this all-purpose cement. I lubricated both sides of it pretty well and didn't have any puddles in there. Connected them together, and then I also put an additional layer of leak stopper all around the joint just in case. And they say you should also clamp it down as well, and I haven't had any problems yet. We'll see how it goes. I wanted to have the drain flow outside of my house so I could free up the drain for other uses. So what I did is I ran the drain pipe through the heater's vents. I had to tape that off as well to prevent any kind of animals getting in there, and I also painted it as well to make it a little bit weatherproof. As you can see, it had flowed very well into this little gutter catch I had here, which I stole from a gutter, and puts it right onto the yard, which basically leads to a giant retention pond.